Okay, so let's get right into this. I don't honestly have much to talk about this time. I don't have much of an intro, other than saying "and we're back" because I think it's fun to say that, and I'm gonna keep this bit. I'm gonna keep the bit of saying that going. I guess I could talk about the suit real quick. I'm using the one that I made fun of for looking like Red Hood. Yeah, that's the suit. While off camera, I also decided to buy Spider-Punk's suit. I think it could use it looked like it could use an upgrade, so or not. It didn't look like it could use an upgrade. You know what I'm saying? I needed another suit to add, so I added it. Okay. Where was I? Oh yeah, we were doing backpacks and stuff. I missed a few over here apparently, so let's go do these real quick. In the meantime, I can also start talking about more about the Ben 10 timeline. Ben 10 Part 2. Some of the rest of it. So, I just checked the video. I was talking about Kevin. So, um, Kevin. Okay, so where was I? So Quirrell died in the prison break in the Null Void. Um, so then Kevin kind of leaves. So Kevin leaves eventually and goes off, and now we're gonna cut 5. We're gonna cut like 5 years roughly to. Oh my. Why can't I just? Come on, just give it to me. So, oh, I know I see it. Where? Let me. So, all right. In any case, so Kevin eventually gets out of the Null Void and travels around the place, making deals and becoming effectively like a mercenary. Um. So from there, we're gonna cut 5 years to Ben 10 Alien Force. We finally made it past the original Ben 10. So Ben 10 Alien Force starts. I think I talked a bit about this last time, but I'm gonna do it again, just as a refresher. So Ben loses feedback in between um in between um in between the events of Ben 10 Alien Force and Ben 10 Omniverse, or Ben, sorry, not Omniverse. Omniverse comes later.
I wonder if King T'Challa got his powers from being bitten by a radioactive panther.
You asked the same
Creepy
thing
stuff, but
to
not
Cap,
the
so.
details we heard.
So, okay, I guess today's thing is going to be these outposts, probably. So, so Ben gets his Omnitrix removed because he doesn't want to have to deal with the loss of feedback. Or, yeah. From, alright, 65 hit combo? Um, so, uh, so, so, smack.
Sleep it off.
So, so from there, Kevin. So we're gonna cut. So Ben just got his Omnitrix removed, and we're gonna cut 5 years. So now Ben's like a more normal teenager without the Omnitrix. So, event. Gwen still practices magic, her magic stuff. Um,
Literally didn't see that coming.
um, let's see. So, so from there, so Ben like has like no need or want to put the Omnitrix back on. Eventually, he does solely because uh, Uncle Max is, or yeah, Max is missing.
Sweet dreams.
So, oh boy. Oh, fine.
Maybe not.
So, from there, so Ben puts the Omnitrix back on, and he goes and eventually goes to go like look for a Forever Knights, like a meetup with this mercenary guy. This mercenary being Kevin. Turns out the Forever Knights ripped Kevin off in the first place. So so Kevin and Ben take uh, Omnitrix. So Kevin and Ben take the uh,
Doing timeout.
so Kevin and Ben eventually team up to go take on all of the Forever Knights. They win, and Kevin decides, you know what? For now, we're still enemies, but for now we're gonna go deal with whatever the heck the Forever Knights are dealing with, and whatever happened to Uncle or to Max, to Grandpa Max. That's what it is. So that's what they do.
Surprise.
Sweet.
That's all of them.
Speed run.
What they were up to.
Sweet. Oh, do I actually have to like do that or?
Yuri, this sounds nuts, but a
So
group of Sable agents is locking people up and straight up robbing them.
You mean asset seizure? That's for drug dealers, mobsters.
Yeah, well, they're applying it to anyone with nice cars or jewelry.
so
Which just makes them criminals. Treat them like it.
so
So, when you were little, did you say, I'm gonna grow up to be a fast compressor? Yeah, you probably did.
rude. So from there, stuff's a little funny. Grab. So Kevin, so they team up and they start fighting pretty much. So they team up and they try to go find out what's who the heck is where Grandpa Max went and where he went. So that's what he did. That's what they did. Turns out, we're gonna jump forward just a tad. It's a group of people called the Hybrid. They're like a group of aliens that, how rude. So it's a group of people that ended up.
Oh, hey, reinforcement guys! I just talked to your boss. She said you could take the rest of the day off. I swear!
So it's these hybrid guys are like they're pretty much their like race is like dying pretty much. So she like sorry. So the hybrid are like trying to effectively eradicate the rest of the universe with them while they while they die off because reasons, I guess. So all these guys. So eventually, this starts up like a starts up, kind of like a war. This ends up in like a war between like a bunch of group factions. So there's there's a lot of the plumbers and their black ops group called the Rooters, led by
More Sable guys.
not Magister,
There is no good news.
uh, not Magister. I forget his name. He's not.
Spider-Man, that Sable's gone rogue before. Sable International's got their hands too full to do anything about it. They don't care if we do.
I was gonna take him down anyway, but this makes it more fun. Thanks.
Sorry. So so they. So what ends up happening with them is they end up so this starts like a war. It really starts off with one of the members of the Rooters. I don't actually remember his name, but he's part of this kid. He's like part of the Rooters, and he's kind of like a porcupine kid kind of thing. So his whole shtick is that he's got like needles that he can use, and he can like chuck them at people and stuff. It's kind of cool. And so that kid ends up getting killed by the hybrid and some of their like lackeys, sparking the war, the hybrid war.
You're surrendering if you let me flare the siren on the way to lockup.
So, sorry. This sparks a whole war where it's these people are trying to like we're all trying to like find like get to Uncle Max and like save the hybrid, or not save the hybrid, but like just kill the hybrid and whatnot. It's a very interesting like take on this. It's a very like serious issue that they're dealing with there too. It's a very realistic thing. It's really cool. So from there, so over time, so they, I'm gonna cut the tedious details and simply bring up all of the main interesting stuff that you need to know. Main one being Ben and the gang Ben uses the finds like the hybrid like high council kind of thing. And he uses the Omnitrix's another feature of the Omnitrix, which is restoring dead species using its DNA. He uses the Omnitrix's like DNA restoration function to grab
Don't stop. Tell Silver Sable
um
I'm not interested. This is really getting stalkerish.
so it's a bunch of like so Ben at that point is regarded as like a hero, pretty much like a hero, the savior of the universe, quote unquote, and he's like a very popular guy. This does, however, make him an incredibly like a cocky little bastard, and it is annoying to watch. It is so annoying to watch him. Ow, rude. So it makes it, you know, like he becomes like a cocky bastard for a long time until eventually I don't actually remember what like fully comes next, but I guess we can talk about Albedo here. So Albedo, it's called a bunch of different stuff. He was Azimuth's like assistant pretty much, but could never really perfect the Omnitrix or get it right. So he was kind of like outcasted as he was like outcasted pretty much and like sent away, and he's got like a vengeance on Ben for being the wielder of the Omnitrix when he's unworthy. kind of thing. So
Captain, all the people in the cells are out, and they've got their property back.
Good. And Sable International swears they're going to prosecute that squad. I'll believe it when I see it.
cool. There's one done. Dope. Let's see. Where do we go now? Starting from the bottom of the map. We're gonna go to Kingpin's base here. So, yeah, sorry for mouth noises. I need somewhere to swallow. So, pretty much. So then eventually, I believe. So we're gonna talk about Albedo real quick. So Albedo, I think this comes next. There may be something in the middle that I'm missing. There's probably a lot of like stuff that I'm like really missing. But the main one, I'm here to talk about the main stuff here. So the main kind of, so the next thing after this is that I can remember consistently is, so from there, a bunch of, so Albedo fights Ben in like an arc, and Albedo eventually locks himself, like he creates like his own version of the Omnitrix, pretty much, and attempts to. He tries. Eventually, he keeps trying to like win the fight and whatnot, and like he keeps attempting all this stuff. That just does not work. So what ends up happening with it is Ben like keeps attempting to try and like save the. So Ben becomes a cocky little bastard, and then so eventually Albedo fights Ben. Look, City Hall.
I know, I'm a jerk.
My feet are clipping through the floor in this, by the way. Like my feet are actively clipping through the floor. Like my feet up here, perfectly fine. Maybe a tad clipped through the floor, but for the most part, that's good. I walked down one set of stairs and my feet are clipping through the floor. Sorry, I had to point that out. So from there, Ben, from there, Ben attempts. So Albedo gets turned into a Galvan form, like a permanently a Galvan. I want to point out the fact that Albedo is also a Galvan, but what ended up happening was Albedo fought Ben, got himself locked into being a clone of Ben, an inverted color shift of Ben. So he's like a red with white hair instead of like white with.
Yuri, this construction site's about as legit as the watches they sell in Times Square.
I don't have evidence for a warrant. You go in, you're on your own.
What else is new?
Okay, what do I have to do? Stealth take down 3 snipers. That I can do. So Ben.
Someone needs a nap.
Shh. So Ben. Oh, let me go the other. There we go. All right, that's 2. Where's the third guy? There's the third guy. So
You're done.
hey fellas. So Ben from there. So Ben effectively. So then Ben fights Vilgax. So Vilgax shows back up again and declares a Conqueror's Challenge. It's like a universal law thing that pretty much forces. Sorry about that. Effectively forces someone to. So he effectively. So Vilgax forces Ben to fight him, and Vilgax eventually he's got like a bunch of weapons from other planets that he's conquered. I don't think I actually mentioned that, but Ben eventually does fight Vilgax again in the original Ben 10.
I got plenty of face kicks left.
He does eventually fight Ben. Vilgax does fight Ben in the original Ben 10 as well. I don't think I mentioned that, but that does happen. Eventually, so then Vilgax shows back up again looking for a vengeance, and he finds it. He fights Ben again. He fights Ben again and declares a Conqueror's Challenge. So a planet sends their greatest warrior to fight the Challenger, and if they win, and if the Challenger wins, then the planet becomes like enslaved.
That site's been getting deliveries from cartel front companies.
They're moving.
So,
Not for long.
so in a nutshell, so from there,
Oh, great, more of them.
Vilgax then fights Ben again, and Ben uses a new alien he unlocked called Chroma Stone. And Chroma Stone is like a crystal guy. He like can manipulate crystals. And eventually, Ben fights Vilgax using Chroma Stone, and Vilgax kills Chroma Stone.
Reinforcements again? This is only acceptable if you're all showing up in clown cars.
So Ben fights Vilgax again, and Vilgax kills Chroma Stone. This actually, funnily enough, so Chroma Stone like dies pretty much, but Ben unlocks a new transformation, or a new old transformation in Diamond Head, which I didn't mention Diamond Head in my section talking about those video, talking about it. But Diamond Head is a diamond crystal guy. So, and Chroma Stone is taken from the genes of Sugalite, which is like the guy, which is like Crystal Jesus, pretty much. It's a whole thing. I'm not gonna get into it. But Chroma Stone dying unlocks Ben's old transformation, Diamond Head.
It's all wrapped up and waiting for you.
Great.
Oh, sorry, mouth noises.
Anonymous tip.
Cool. Alrighty. Nothing yet. Okay. So eventually, alright. So eventually, so then Vilgax takes Ben and like transports him up to his ship, where Ben, or even I forgot something. So even with like all of Ben's old create transformation Diamond Head, he still loses the fight, I believe. And this forces Ben to then use his so he eventually finds his way to so he eventually fights. So Vilgaxon takes Ben up to his ship, where he meets Albedo, who's also been working on his own unique thing, the Ultimatrix. after Ben turned Albedo into a after Ben turned Albedo into a
You're just not very observant. Hey guys, bird watching? Got some pigeons over there. Can't have the ones inside feeling left out.
so
Going down.
so Ben so then the Ultimatrix, which allows an alien that Ben has to effectively surpass its powers.
Can you believe these demons wear their masks just like walking around? Those make for confusing staff meetings.
I'll try to figure out their operation
All right.
while you throw a wrench into it.
Okay. Ah. Okay.
Oh, sorry, did I startle you?
So from there, so Ben then willingly gives up the Omnitrix and then steals the Ultimatrix from Albedo. So what he does is he activates the Omnitrix's self-destruct sequence, which has toned itself down since the original one. It just kind of like is a little pal, and then like it explodes and destroys itself. So that's what it does. It blows itself up, and Vilgax no longer has an Omnitrix, but Albedo has the Ultimatrix,
I should
which
have called first.
which Ben steals from Albedo and uses Ultimate Swamp Fire, which is Swamp Fire. I talked about him in the last video. To save the day, effectively. He's cool. And so this brings us into Ultimate Alien. Again, not everything is 100% fully accurate. Like, I think there's a couple things that I'm... Damn it. Fine. So... Ben then fights... So Ben, simply put... So then Ben uses the Ultimatrix. From there, we're gonna... I think there's a couple of other things that happen in between there. There's some friends that are made. But I'm giving a basic rundown. So... From there, the next, like, big arc is... Agrigor. I'm sure you remember him. We're fulfilling some of our, we're reintroducing some of our old surprise tools. So Agrigor is an Osmosian, the same thing as Kevin.
I hope you new guys can up your
So
because those last guys, yawn.
so
Supposedly an importer of souvenirs for Chinatown shops.
hold on.
Their employment is not something I want as a memento.
Drugs?
Demons. Looks like they bring in their buddies in shipping containers. Explains how foreign nationals with criminal records are getting into the country.
Sorry. So effectively, so then Ben, so Agrigor shows up. So we're gonna cut a little bit farther to a ship in space where these four aliens from the Andromeda Galaxy are all fighting, are all escape this ship on this escape pods from this guy called Agrigor. He's an Osmosian, same as like the same kind of alien as Kevin. So technically, so from here, so they all land on, they crash land on Earth, and they go off and go try to, they try to like, they all try to so they all escape and they go down to Earth. There's, I believe, 5 of them, or 4 of them. There's a jellyfish that has electric powers. There's a mecha, or like a robot armadillo that has mechanical arms. There's a crustacean guy with water blasters, and there is a metal suit that has that's like pure radiation.
Are incapacitated.
Hold on.
Don't forget to bring me a souvenir.
Ugh. Okay. Sorry about that. I was drinking some water. Or was the word because thirsty. Just hydrate or dihydrate, as they say. So, as I was saying, Agagor shows up, and Agagor's goal is to like become the most powerful being in the universe. So that's what he attempts to do. He gets these 5 aliens that can all help him get the 4 pieces to the map of infinity, which is like a place to get this to go to the Celestial Forge, where actually I forgot one thing. Sorry for all the mouth noises, by the way. I'm just got a lot of stuff in my mouth, and my mic doesn't cover it. So, it's in the middle of Alien Force, before getting the Ultimatrix, Ben is tasked with stopping a dam that has like exploded, pretty much. This dam had just completely exploded, and this is where Ben finally uses the most powerful alien he has. It's an alien he calls Alien X. Alien X. Yeah, I got nothing. What did I say? So, from there, Alien X is one of the most insane aliens in the Omnitrix. Because Alien X is effectively omnipotent. Like, it can do anything.
Yuri, a group of escaped
Oh, we're here
aliens
again.
they've gotten their hands on some serious firepower.
Last thing we need right now is a massive shootout on a residential street. Is this something you can handle quietly?
Quietly might be pushing it, but I can do it without a massive shootout. There might be a bunch of webs around, though.
I'll take it. Good luck.
People around here work.
So, from there, alright, so, real quick, so like I said, Ben is tasked with stopping an exploding dam. Which, said exploding dam, there's like no way any of those other aliens at the time could do anything to stop it. So, he attempts to Um,
Take a break. You earned it.
right. So Ben is tasked with using Alien X. Alien X is one of the most insane aliens for one reason. It scales like no other alien scales. He's effectively omnipotent, but also not really. So he can do anything, pretty much. He's done some wild stuff. He's the most notable thing comes later. So, uh, so So Ben eventually has to uses Alien X, and Alien X is effectively omnipotent. He's done pretty much everything you can think of. His durability is off the charts. Ben could pretty much use Alien X in any situation, in any situation if he needed to. So
Back up. For guys who just got out of the raft, they sure are eager to go back.
so there we go. Nice. So from there. So Ben could use Alien X in any situation, but doesn't. In case just as like an awareness thing, Alien X is a celestial sapient, and which is where celestial sapiens are born. Or so Egregore wants to go to find the map of infinity, which is where celestial sapiens are born by the mother. It's like a big female one.
Spider-Man, I'm getting reports of shots fired.
I can confirm that. They're not hitting anyone, though.
Try to keep it that way.
Since I'm the only one they're aiming at, I am totally on board with that.
So Egregore gets all these aliens, and he goes to try and find these. So he finds all these aliens on Earth. They're like causing problems, and he attempts to.
Is it sad that a bunch of criminals have more loyalty than me?
So Egregore effectively. So over time, these guys, Ben finds them all with the help of Kevin and Gwen, and they try their best to make their situation like comparable, but in the end, Egregore still gets all of them. Egregore still, no matter what, seems to be one step ahead of them, and manages to get all of. Here we go. Manages to get all of, like, the bad.
Just once, I'd love for the people rushing into the fight to be on my side. Heck, I'd even settle for neutral.
So, So, Ben tries to. So, no matter what, Egregore always seems like he's an extra step ahead of Ben and his Ben and the gang. Like no matter what, he always like seems to just know what they're doing. So in the end, Agrigor manages to fuse with all of the aliens that they wanted to that wanted to so Agrigor, so I mean it's just a fuse with them, all of them becoming Ultimate Agrigor. I talked about him. Say look, a surprise tool. Like I said earlier, he's back. So cool. So Ultimate Agrigor shows up and just and it begins his search around the universe for in his search for like looking for the pieces to the map of infinity. And Ben and his friends don't really have a good way of like getting, or they have a good way of getting around the universe, but they have no idea where the pieces to the map of infinity are. So they get their old friend, who he's shown up a couple of times before this, but I think, ow, rude. Mainly, ooh, back in the slammer. Take down each prisoner camp. That's all the prisoner camps, baby. First time in a while I've gotten an achievement. So,
Captain,
all right. So from there,
webbed up and waiting.
all of the
Taking them without collateral damage. I hope the locals appreciate you.
good job, me.
A Rikers escapee we picked up says they stopped establishing bases.
So,
Fuck that up.
You. They decided the base is too easy to find.
yep,
They've gone back on the run. Smaller groups.
fair
Getting
enough.
them off a few at a time takes longer, but it's safer. Especially for New York.
Yep.
Exactly. Nice going.
Yay. So from there, so they'll go looking. They go to a bunch of different places, including the most notable one being an ice planet where Ben shows off Ultimate Big Chill. He looks like a Cheetos mascot. He's stupid. He looks like a Big Chill. He looks like a Big Chill mascot. He looks like a Cheetos mascot. He's stupid. From there, so Agrigor gets all 4 pieces of the map of infinity, but Professor Paradox does have the power to take them through the gateway that you need to get to. But Professor Paradox takes them through like the portal required to get to the Celestial Forge anyway.
Hi! We can fight, or, hear me out, we can barbecue.
Nice.
Ooh, getting brisk out here. Better go in.
So
And without further ado,
from there, Ben fights. So Ben, Gwen, and Kevin all go through the portal, and they end up bringing along 10. Accidentally rip a hole in space and grab 10.
Job where you'll fit right in.
Um.
Until you start with the face kicking.
yeah, I have a feeling HR's not gonna be too happy with me.
So from there, nice. So Ben, so then 10-year-old Ben and 16-year-old Ben both fight together to take down Ultimate Agrigor. In the end, that doesn't actually work out. Like they still get close. Don't get me wrong, they get close, but Ultimate Agrigor in the end still wins and almost does absorb that Celestial Sapien. He doesn't though, because Kevin ends up sacrificing himself. going insane and acquiring the power of everything except for Alien X to take down Ultimate Aggregor. Going insane. That is a little rough for him because then they go insane and and eventually Kevin so then there's a debate between whether Kevin can be redeemed or not. It's a whole thing and it's a very interesting arc. It's definitely one of my favorites. And eventually Kevin comes back. They eventually find Kevin again and they attempt to fight to attempt to I attempted to take out Kevin because Ben firmly believes that Kevin has gone insane again and there's no way of redeeming him. So So Ben ends up attempting to fight, what we're gonna call Ultimate Kevin.
Place is supposed to be a bespoke furniture manufacturer.
From what I can see, it's more like illegal weapons. And this might come as a shock, but I don't think they're really bespoke.
Yeah.
Hipster assassins are gonna be so disappointed.
So eventually, Ben attempts to fight Ultimate Kevin using another one of these Ultimate Aliens, Ultimate Echo Echo. My personal favorite Echo Echo variant. So inevitably, then eventually Kevin does come back around, and eventually Kevin finds a way to eventually Kevin returns back to normal, but only through a lot of trial and error and Gwen finally admitting her feelings for Kevin. And it takes a while, but it does end up happening, and it's kind of cute. So, he did, in fact, get, like, I guess you call it rehabilitated. And now, we're going to do one more arc. This is the last arc, at least of Ultimate Alien Force. The Dagon arc. So, we're going to cut back to the second arc of Ben 10 that I talked about with Clang. So nice. So from there Ben attempts to
Hey, call the police. I've got the place secured.
Nice job. Anytime we can get guns
All
on the
right.
street, it's a win.
Sweet. Yeah, whatever. So from there, we're gonna cut back to the second arc where Ben fights Vilgax and fights him. One thing I forgot to mention was that in this while this whole thing was happening, after the fact, while Ben was fighting Vilgax, Vilgax reverts to his most powerful form, which is like a giant squid thing. Now, cutting back to the present, or cutting back to just a little bit after that, sorry, eventually, so that thing like washes up on shore, and some people find it.
All units, officers are under fire from masked
Captain.
hostiles.
Guys on a Fisk construction site and their equipment's covered in dust.
Just there for show?
That's my bet. I'm gonna take a closer look.
They think the boss can't run things from inside? He's the boss. A lot of people owe him a lot of favors, that's for sure.
So, in a nutshell, so Vilgax washes up on shore and gets the attention of this one guy that like Alright, you good now, yeah. So, from there, a bunch of people, some people find him and sell him off to this circus that, like, paid, like, big money for him. Little did these people, the people that sold it to him know, they were actually found, the people that they sold it to, this traveling circus, what they thought was, a giant squid. What they thought was Vilgax was actually, they thought it was a creature known as, get this, the Dagon. Remember that one? He's back again.
What's it take to stop this guy? How'd you like that, Spider-Man?
So they believe that this guy's the Dagon. We talked about the Dagon already, sort of. But effectively, the Dagon is just like, it's like a Cthulhu kind of multi-dimensional, like a beyond our comprehension creature. That's what they believe Vilgax is. Eventually, Vilgax. So the Forever Knights also hear about this, and
Have some of this.
and they don't like the Esoterica because they fought the Dagon. That was literally their first thing they ever really did as a group, was kill the Dagon. And they do not want to resurrect the Dagon. So they're attempting. So the Esoterica is attempting to.
Delivery of enough concrete to build 2 skyscrapers.
Wait, don't tell me. They're hiding drugs in the concrete mix.
That's my theory. We'll need probable cause to get on site to confirm it.
You'll have to.
Crush your skull. See that, Davey?
No, not Davey.
No shoving. I'll give you all personal attention.
So the Dagon, so that kind of starts like a thing where the Forever Knights are trying their best to keep the Esoterica away from the vault that seals the Dagon. And the Esoterica are trying to find the vault that has the heart of the Dagon in it. Meanwhile, this guy in this old retirement home in Bellwood, his name is George, old George. He shows up and he's like, he like goes off on his own, goes to, I believe it's the military base in Bellwood, and literally teleports it to like the capital place thing where the vault is. And like he gets all the Forever Knights together, their head honchos, like all their big people, and he attempts to like get them together and to try and find a way to get the esoterica and out. This kind of sparks the whole thing. He also upgrades all their gear. I forgot to mention that part. He also upgrades their bunch of their stuff. It's really neat. Eventually, bro, eventually,
I've got fists
the dag,
and all the
s-
you need.
eventually it like it starts like this whole big war thing. It was really interesting.
Things from inside.
Ben shows up to kind of try and keep relationships, to try and keep everything kind of like on the down low and keep everything calm. That doesn't work, by the way. So Ben ends up having to try and lock in here. Doesn't use Alien X though. I want to make that clear. So what ends up happening is Ben so Ben ends up having to fight so what ends up happening is what ends up happening is George ends up, so the Forever Knights end up trying to crack the vault that has the Dagon in it, because they think it's a weapons vault and they're going to need it in their fight against the Esoterica and what they believe is the Dagon. So they try to crack the vault and they crack it a little bit, releasing this thing called the Kubras, I believe is what they're called. And they are these hyper, like, they're like these little creatures that the Dagon controls as like demons pretty much. And he controls them. Yeah, he controls them. So from there, so the Dagon, so they end up trying to crack this thing up, and then it releases the Lacubra, and the Lacubra goes and possesses Gwen. A little bit, not fully, but sort of, and it like threatens, and like it's like, and like the Dagon like speaks to Gwen, and Gwen like makes its way towards the to pretty much, yeah, so he makes his way to the so Gwen makes her way to the vault and completely cracks the vault, fully releasing and reviving the Dagon, who Vilgax took the form of, took like an illusion of, Gwen cracks it a little bit more, not fully, but some more. Eventually, it comes to like a full head thing when the Esoterica show up. They finally figure out where the vault is, and George effectively starts this war. George kind of reveals that he is Sir George, the knight guy I talked about that sealed the Dagon in the first place. And the Esoterica end up fully destroying the vault, releasing the Dagon and all of its stuff. The Dagon, seeing that Vilgax like took its form, decided to give him a little bit of his power and created Dagon Gax, which is like a really strong, really powerful Vilgax. It was a whole thing. It was pretty cool, actually. Don't hate it. So that starts a whole war between the Esoterica and the Forever Knights, and they're like battling it out and duking it out. It's really interesting. I would highly recommend this one as well. Ben ends up having to use a new Ultimate Alien, Ultimate Waybig. He only really shows up here. There's not much to talk about.